Episode 255, Exercise, Using Muscle Memory to Make Your Life Easier.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And welcome to the closing of a totally new week here on the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness, and a twisted tongue. For some reason, it took me like 3 times to get the introduction going. It's Friday, and that makes this Exercise Friday. And as always, please do not worry that you need to leave the comfort of wherever the fuck you are right now, because this exercise is doesn't really require that. So it's a convenient exercise and a convenient way to shut down the week, and a convenient way not to get bothered with, sore muscles and that kind of ordeal. We don't do that here. So with that being said, this episode is about muscle memory, and I don't even know whether that's an appropriate term or whether it's more about routines, but for some reason, I've come across, probably hundreds, if not thousands of people, hundreds of which in any way I got to know a little bit better. And a majority of them spent, perceived a majority of their day looking for shit because they didn't know where they put it. And one of the most prominent ones was, where are my keys? And I was like, I always, for some stupid reason, know where my keys are. How come? And so I did a little bit of digging. And the results of that digging are something that we're going to go through right after we go through housekeeping. So as every day, item number 1, sharing is caring. And you should share this content far and wide, not because I am raping your wallet or, profit otherwise from this. It's because you can really improve people's lives. And, just a very brief excursion into what happened a few weeks ago. I got an email from a person that, was all shits and dollars, if that's appropriate. I don't know if that's a word. Shit. And they were happy. Let's be woke. They were happy because they'd come across an episode of ours through the social feed of a friend of theirs. I don't even know if I know who it is exactly. But anyhow, they came across something that they had shared on their somewhat social media profile. And they were like, well, they listened to that one episode and then started binging the rest. And, as a result of which I received an email saying, hey, this seriously improved my life. And that's what this show is about. And so, therefore, share content. Item number 2. Views on my own, blah. Blah. And item number 3, we're still in major remodeling mode. It is still, it's the end of summer, actually. We're going straight into fall or autumn. And so the episodes are a bit shorter, a bit more concise, equally well researched on the shitter. So that's where we stand currently. End of housekeeping, thank God. So, how am I going to get started with this? Well, I came across, tons of people always looking for stuff because they had misplaced it somewhere. And I wasn't really familiar with the concept, because here's what happens when you travel and you don't pay attention to your shit. The MagSafe chargers for MacBooks were insanely expensive. Some places on Earth even more than insanely expensive. And I spent, I don't know, throughout the course of my career, probably a few thousand, a MacBook's worth of money on chargers because I would constantly leave them in a hotel room somewhere. And that was a lesson which I learned with bitter tears. So I kind of got rid of that. I found a solution that, I had my bag with all of my tech stuff in it. And if something was missing, I would notice immediately because there were, compartments in that. And if any cable was missing, if any charger was, I would immediately know because it wasn't there. And whenever I would pack up in the morning to, always always overslept. It was just this drill of putting everything in its place, wrapping things up, putting everything in the bag, getting out of the hotel room in 5 minutes or less. That was the challenge. Most of the times it was less because there was somebody waiting for me. But that was, another lesson that kind of came through the way. Ever since I started carrying a wallet that went in my right butt pocket, and I do not, and I reject to buy a pair of pants that doesn't have a butt pocket. So the same goes for my smoking attire that's in the left side pocket, and the lighter cigarettes and that kind of stuff. Phone goes in the right pocket, as do the keys to the car or the house or whatever. So that in any scenario, if anybody bumps into me in the street, for instance, I'll immediately check my right butt pocket if the wallet is there. And I will freaking panic if in rare circumstances I will put my wallet, somewhere else. I will immediately panic, when somebody bumps me and the wallet isn't there. I'll be like, holy shit, how did that happen? The same goes because it is so ingrained in me that these things are in the place that they are. Now, I'm totally anal about this, right? And about where stuff belongs in my computer bag, in my travel bag. I'm totally anal about that. And you can, if it weren't for my better half, my place would look like shit. But there's a point to those essentials that you need. And when you need them, they need to be there, and then you start living with someone, which for me was a totally new experience. It was like, you share cars, you share keys, you share all of that kind of stuff. And you're constantly looking for shit because, it's been misplaced. And so, we got into this, into this dictatorial regime of what goes where. And, that was a very interesting experience to have. And it's working out quite well. Now, there are places where, which are off limits. Which for instance is the kitchen, because if I would leave that untended, holy shit, things would deteriorate and go south very, very quickly. But that kind of ordeal. And, there are places where, which are off limits to me, and that's really where we don't really get on. But the point is, which I wanted to get to and where I want to make an exercise out of this is for you to really reflect about stuff that you constantly misplace. Now, this could be files, and I'm not talking about the regular paper files. If you lose those, God bless you. But if you have difficulties finding files, there are tons of videos on YouTube on how to properly search either a Mac or a Windows system or a Linux system or whatever for files, which you may have put somewhere and can't really find. And there are also tons of videos, on getting things done, this GTD kind of thing. Just search that hashtag, which will show you how to properly file shit so that you can find it later on, that you have a structure, right? I know for a lot of people, it's insanely difficult to find shit that they have filed somewhere. And I started out with that very, very, very early. Now let's get to physical objects. What are the things that are missing most? Right? So that's glasses. Someone who wears glasses. You don't need to tell me anything about that. Even, I hardly ever take them off throughout the day. And if I do, it's for a matter of seconds to just clean them. But if they're not on my head, they're clipped together in the front of my t-shirt, just dangling down. And as I had mentioned, about all of the stuff that is like my daily carry, my wallet, my cigarettes, my phone, and all of that kind of ordeal, my watch and ring and whatnot, all of those things are in one place always. And when I come home, take off my watch, it goes into that place. My wallet goes into that place. The car keys go into the place that, we have agreed upon unanimously. They don't get left laying around anywhere. And that's where the exercise is. Now, for you to reflect about stuff which you're constantly searching for, right? And, that may be glasses, keys, phone, that anything. Right. And to find a dedicated place for that. Now, the dedicated place, and this helps, really, really helps, is if you have some kind of basket or some kind of, vase or bowl or whatever, where these things go into, because then they will not be, running around on your desk and falling off or whatever, because they will be in their dedicated keep safe area. We've got a basket for the keys. I've got a piss pot actually for my wallet and pocket knife and all of that kind of stuff that I carry on me. And we have several locations. However, they are something very special. They are an item, a bowl, or whatnot. Everything has its place, and this place is the keys sleep in the basket, the wallet sleeps in the piss pot, and that kind of thing. So that will really make things easier. Glasses, for instance, if you take them off in the bathroom before you go to bed, have a dedicated box where your glasses go into. If you're like me, and you have your glasses on the nightstand, make sure that you have, some kind of felt covered, whatever, leather box, which I have, or something along those lines, so that you know where they are always and at any time. And if you're a little bit disciplined, things will start to become easier and you won't be looking for stuff. I know, this may sound like a given to a lot of you, but trust me, there are tons of people struggling constantly to find shit. And it's a waste of time, and time, as we have determined and elaborated repeatedly, is the only asset that we can't get back. So, in that sense, I hope you have a nice weekend with this exercise, training yourself, and maybe going to the flea market, finding a special bowl or basket or whatever to put your stuff into, to ritualize that the stuff is there where it belongs. And we'll see you again on Monday, when we are going to be talking about something which I haven't really decided upon yet. Have a nice weekend, folks, and stay safe. Bye now. Peace out.